Hey, hello, welcome back to Life for Living Well. My name is Richard. I will be presenting to you for another series of ongoing episode of An Art of Balance. So, for the last 3 weeks, I've been giving us tools that can help us to achieve balance in our intrapersonal relationship and our own professional or relationship that we have in our life. But to finish this particular episode, the area that we'll be focused on is self-worth. But before I start, I would like to quickly remind us how we get to this stage. So the first episode, I mentioned about the self-care, what the importance of self-care help us to achieve balance in our life, and what we need to do to implement that in our life if you haven't done that yet. And I also cite the benefit of having a good self-care in our life. And that takes us to the next episode, which was the second week, which I talk about self-awareness and why self-awareness will make a lot of difference in our life. It will also allow us to achieve a balance in our life. So, because there is no life in extremes. Extreme is where we lead ourselves to annihilation and destruction. So, having a self-awareness will allow us to fully know, be in touch with ourselves, with our feelings, and also having a compassion to ourselves and compassion to other people and the animals and the universe. So that take me to the third week where I talk about the self-esteem, why we need to do everything we can do within our power to build our self-esteem. And I do mention the thing that we can do that can help our self-esteem to be increasing rather than develop a virtues or principle or giving our time to charity or our resources or helping others or helping ourselves or developing a skills or taking a educating ourselves, learning new things, and travel and do things that help us. Even engage and booking ourselves if we need a professional help to talk to a therapist, someone that will be able to help us in a way that will make a difference in our life. And all these tools, they are things that will help us to achieve a balance in our life. So to finalize this episode today, I'm going to take us through the journey of self-worth. So how do you define a self-worth? If you're looking into it, it's almost similar to self-esteem. So it's about how you feel about yourself. But the difference with the self-worth is more about who you are as a person. Your trait, your character make you unique, and that's enough to be a person. You are here and make us different to our neighbor animals in the sense that we not only just have our gut instinct, we also have intellect, we also have reason, we also have intuition that we can use. But fortunately, not every one of us able to use this. But once we have a good and healthy self-worth, we're able to realize that being who we are doesn't require that we need to do anything extra to be more valuable to ourselves and our society at large. So let's get started. There's no better time, in my opinion, to ensure we all have healthy and good self-worth. Why is that? Today, there is so many things that allow us to focus all our energy to things outside of us. So whether the kind of car we are driving, the kind of house that we have, and the kind of partner or job title that we have, make us feel like important, but I'm telling you that any of those things, you can lose it anytime. And if your self-worth was based on things outside of you alone, and the only thing that guarantee in this world is change. And when the change comes, that you lose all those things that you attach yourself to, your self-worth is going to suffer a lot. But looking back, looking at the great men and great women that live their life in a very admirable and inspiring way, despite the fact that they are so much successful in the physical world, in the material world, their self-worth was not based on things that are outside of them. It's based on things that are more subtle, something more unique about them. So this is the last part of ongoing 4th episode of An Art of Balance. So how do we achieve a balanced life in the area of intra and interpersonal relationship, emotional, physically, financially, psychologically, and mentally? So how can we achieve a balance in this area? Because if we're able to achieve a balance in this area, we bound to minimize or reduce suffering in our life. We bound to go through life without being scared or afraid to follow our goals. But I've given us 3 already tools that we can use to achieve the art of balance in our life. So the last part is self-worth. So how does self-worth really look like? Because if we don't have a good self-worth in this current world, it's more difficult to have a life that we truly want to have, because the happiness will come and the sorrow will come. And when the sorrow comes and we have not built a solid foundation, we are going to be thrown over. Our society has conditioned us to attach to a lot of things we have no control about. And all these things are external things. So they make us attached to our intellect, and the internet can only take us to a while. It cannot take us far to where we need to be. So because the way the society is built, they build in such a way that you always have to depend on outside of you, like your husband, your wife, your children. People say my children, my husband, my house, my car, all those things you could easily lose or lost them easily. But because it's a gift, you should enjoy it, embrace it. But your self-worth is more to do about you are here and you are a human being and you are a person that lovable, peaceful, kind, and loving. So you don't need it to offer anything more. You just have to see inside of you and believe that you are worthy of a person without have to do anything else or have another title or something else that make you feel like you worthy of a person. I've already gave us tools that we can use to achieve a self-balance in our life. I've mentioned about self-caring, I mentioned about self-awareness, I mentioned about self-esteem. And for this week, I'm only focused on self-worth. If you want to see the podcast about the self-caring and self-awareness or self-esteem, you can still listen to it through this platform or check it out on our website. Self-worth is similar to our last episode or series, self-esteem, but the obvious difference is self-worth has no attachment to what you do or feel about yourself. It's just who you are. That is your self-worth. Who you are is make you more valuable. I was talking to someone recently, and he told me about a situation that is very personal, but felt disrespectful about how the other person treated him. So I said to him that imagine you have a shop and you're selling different items, and each of the items you have in your shop have a different price. If somebody come to your shop and giving you below price, are you obliged to sell it? And he said no. I says okay, when you know your values, when you know your worth, nobody can devalue you. And this is similar to self-worth. When you know you are a person of integrity, a person of uniqueness, and just beingness is enough to feel like you are worthy and lovable as a person to be here. So, to continue, so the society condition a lot of us to believe that the only way we are worthy of somebody or someone is when we have external things to prove it. And a lot of people create a lot of suffering in their life by chasing external things. And once they even achieve all this external thing, they still not feel worthy. They still feel bad. They still feel unhappy. And this is sad. And this is sad. And this is a very popular and common thing that you say because of the education that they've been given by the society, that you have to have a title, you have to own something, or you have to be somebody before you're worthy of respect. This is wrong. And because self-worth is not about what you can do or who you are, it's who you are. I mean, it's who you are. It's not what you can do or what you feel or somebody else think about you or what you earn. It's more who you are as a person. Without healthy relationships, so to all the three listed above, it is very difficult concept for a lot of people to see themselves as a unique and worthy of loving, caring, accepting, and lovable. Yeah. So in order to be able to develop our self-worth, which is the hardest of the four tools that I'm giving you, it is important to develop and know how to use a self-caring in our life, to develop a compassion for ourselves. The more compassion we have for ourselves, the more compassion we have for other people. When we learn not to judge ourselves, criticizing ourselves in a way that damaging our self-esteem, we no longer have desire to judge and criticizing other people in our quiet thought. Take for example, what makes us a unique as a human being? Take for example our primate neighbors, the animals, the domestic and the wild animals. They make most of their decision or all of their decision for their gut instincts. They smell, they react. They see, they react. They hear, they react. But being a human being is a unique opportunity. Not only you have a gut instinct, which is the lowest knowledge of being, you also have intellect to able to judge what you feel, what you sense. Is it a threat or it's not? And above all, you have intuition. And most of us don't listen to it. And is the highest of the wisdom that we have. Intellect will only find a remedy. It doesn't actually solve a problem because every time you create one solution, you also create another problem. Look at all the technology we have. This technology is so amazing and they make our life easier. I'm talking to you right now on the because of the technology. 100 years ago, even 60 years ago, I won't be able to do this. But also there's also part of the technology that also toxic and damaging, where it make people more looking for validation in the wrong place. That remind me something that happened personally to me many few years ago. I always want to swim with a dolphin. And I was in the training from work that particular time. And the trainer was asking everyone, what would you like to do? So I remember I said that I always want to swim with a dolphin. And he asked me a question and he said, do you swim? I said, no. Can you swim? I said, no. And he said, that is the first thing you need to do. You need to learn how to swim, and then you can go and swim with a dolphin. So I took his advice on board. I'm looking for a swimming lesson for adults. So I booked myself in for a swimming lesson, and I went. And after 4 weeks, the trainer called me aside, pulled me aside, and she said that I'm really sorry. Swimming is not for you. So I asked her why, and she said, oh, you have a big bone. There's something deeper in me that absolutely reject this feedback. It just don't feel right to my heart, to my soul. I just thought that something is not right. So I stopped going to that lesson with that woman. So I find another place. So I went there. Another place I went. In 3 weeks, I learned how to swim by myself from one length of the pool to another length of the pool. And to bring the whole story to the end, I was made a poster boy for the new place that I went to learn, because the speed and the pace that I pick up was so remarkable for them, and they have to use me as a poster boy in order to advertise for more adults for the same lesson. Well, so one of my friends asked me that this is pretty strong. What make you decided that this is not the right feedback for you? I said it's more to do about how I know about myself, that if I put my heart to it, if I determine, if I find the right environment, I can do all things. And this is self-worth. So when we have a good self-worth, we no longer able to take any feedback as thing to knock us down and discourage us to follow our own particular goals that we set up in our life, because we have so many of these things in our life. We have people that they can't follow their own dream, their own goal, they will discourage you. You will have people that will put you to left, to the right. You will have many people that wanted to crash your own dream. You have to really have your own plan in your own mind, your own head, and clear what you want to do, where you want to go. And this is self-worth. So a one wise sage once said that you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. So we needed to look inside ourselves and believe that we are worthy of a person, we are worthy of energy, we are worthy to be here. Self-worth allows us to value ourselves more than we do. When you know your value, no one else can devalue you. So what I would like to round this up, and the way I'm going to round it up for us today is to remind us that it is your duty as a person to take care of your self-care, to take care of your self-worth, to take care of your self-esteem, and also these three will lead to your good self-worth. You will feel good about yourself, you will know your value, you will know who you are, you will know what you want as a person. And when one door shut to you, it doesn't mean all the doors is shut to you. When you hear no, it doesn't mean that the rest of the universe said no to you. It's only one person. And then you go to another place. And this is self-worth. Because every time you knock down, your strength is not how many times you've been tested. It's not how many times you've been pulled down. It's how many times you arise. You arise from it every time you've been pulled down. So, and it takes a self-worth for someone to keep going despite the fact of setbacks. So I hope this particular episode helps someone. If you do have any question, you can always write to me. My name is Richard, and you can write to me at info@lifeforlivingwell.info. I will be happy to respond to you as soon as possible. I hope the last episode of this particular series of Art of Balance, Self-Worth, help someone today. Whatever you do this week, have an amazing time and play safe. Thank you.